So right around that 12-month mark when the doc is saying, "Hey, what do you think about your military career? It looks like we may have to refer you over to the medical evaluation board, the MEB." At that point in time, you definitely need to print out all of your medical records if you can. Somehow, some way, print out all your medical records. And if you're Army, you need to become familiar with AR 40-501. And this regulation is a list of all of the diagnoses that are deemed failing, right? So remember, we talked about go and get all of your medical records, get the documentation, get seen, print out those records. Now is the time to start tying into 40-501 if you're Army, which is the fitness, the medical standard for fitness regulation. And then identify any other conditions that you think should be added. Identify any other conditions that you think that should be added, meaning that should be added to your profile. And then review the MEB checklist and gather everything up. This is so vital and so important because when you go to the next phase, it's going to be a little bit of a hurry up, wait, hurry up, wait experience. You're not going to have the 12 months that you had in the MRDP phase to do what you need to do then. And I would quickly just tell you what generally happens with most service members during this time. They are perhaps just going to get seen for their referred condition and still trying to be active in the unit and doing what they can, and that's about it. Then they get referred over to the integrated disability evaluation system, and then life gets real because now if you didn't go through and document a lot of the conditions besides the referred conditions, you have an uphill battle. So take the time to do it while you're recovering, especially around the 6 to 12 month mark. So, Spearman, what should I be preparing for while I'm in this medical retention decision point? Well, one, you should be preparing for being referred to the integrated disability evaluation system. But two, you should be preparing for a commander statement. There's a lot of things that are happening in the MRDP phase, being seen and all that great stuff, right, for your condition. But the commander is the one who is going to have to tell how your condition is impacting you as a military personnel and your duties. So why not keep this commander informed? Keep this commander informed. Now, whether you go through your first line and then they send it up to the chain, that's obviously perfectly fine because you're still keeping the commander informed. Trust me, once they know that you're on this list and receiving profiles, the commander will be asking the first line uh, about you and where you're going. So it's good to keep them informed of your conditions. Now, how do I keep them informed? You can keep them informed by sending them a SITREP email. Now, what's a SITREP email? It's just a situation report email that gives a brief overall assessment of your medical readiness in a sense. You're talking about the situation, meaning I went to the doctor today. As you know, I had an issue with my knee. The action was they did an exam. They referred me over to a specialist. And the result is the exam showed that I had some further deterioration of my condition. Oh, now the commander's informed. Your first line is informed of what's going on every time that you go. And it helps the commander to write a commander statement. So here's a tip again: send that email to them. Send an email to your commander in your first line and ask them, like, hey, how would you like to receive this information? Do you want to receive it monthly? Do you want to receive it weekly? Do you want to receive it after every report? How often? So, what are some of the main action steps that I could take while I'm here in this phase? There's four. The first one is gathering the evidence. Once you get seen by your physicians, you're going to get some profiles. You need to keep that information as evidence because we all know sometimes things happen to disappear, right? So we want to make sure that you keep all of that, your profiles, your medical records. Every time you get seen for this condition, print out the medical records and start creating a log. Review all of your conditions, right? Write down on a sheet of paper, and then inside the workbook, we will have a diagram for you to easily do this. But write down head to toe everything that is going on with you, from behavioral health to orthopedic conditions to non bone orthopedic conditions. But get treatment now for all of those conditions, okay? And start to create a file. Create that I Love Me book that we're going to talk about. And just be honest and forthright with all your conditions. This is not the time to suck it up and drive on. This is the time now that you need to start documenting your evidence. And we will, medical evidence, meaning going to the doctor and getting documentation. And we'll be getting more into this in the next few series of modules. But this is a very key point. These four action steps are key and vital because they will help you when you finally get to the medical evaluation board. So, what should you do in the MRDP phase? Go to medical, time now, build that evidence. This is the best time to do it. You're not rushed. They're not asking you for documentation. You're not preparing for an exam. Take that time. If it's up to 12 months, take that time to get seen for all your conditions. Write down all of your conditions head to toe. Just write it down. Keep your chain of command informed by sending them emails. What does that do? That helps them to write the commander statement because it's already documented. Keep track of all of your profiles. I'm telling you, when I went through this process, my the profiles that I had up until the point where I was referred, some of them disappeared. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. Nope. I had this profile and this profile and that profile. Oh, well, where was it? Do you have it? Yep, I have a copy of it. Here you go. Keep all of that information and get organized. Build your medical board book. Build that I Love Me medical board book. So I just wanted to give you an example, a real life example of a soldier or two soldiers that I worked with. So this way you can kind of see, compare and contrast one scenario where the service member really didn't prepare during this phase and the other that did. So here's the story. The first service member, let's call him Sergeant Jeff. So Sergeant Jeff had was injured, was referred to the MEB all throughout the time that he was waiting to be referred. He just got seen for that one condition and just moved on. But then when he got to the MEB, it was a challenge because he didn't have all of the records for another condition that he thought he should have been referred for. And that condition was his ankle. So when it came time for him to make a decision, if he agreed with the board's decision in the MEB, the medical evaluation board phase, he requested a rebuttal, and we'll get more into that process in the next module, in the MEB module. But he requested a rebuttal because he wanted to try to get his ankle condition added. The response that he received back from the board was, "Hey, so I saw that you had in your medical records where you complained of, you know, a pain on your left ankle. However, there's no further evidence that shows objectively what your condition really is, nor does it show in your records where you have continued to be seen for this condition." And so, therefore, he was not able to get that particular condition added. So, flip to another scenario. So, let's call this other soldier Sergeant Brown. Sergeant Brown was on top of it when I had met with him. Sergeant Brown had got all his medical records reviewed. He went and spoke to a healthcare professional to ask questions about his particular condition. He then also was being seen for his condition. In his case, it was a behavioral health condition. He was being seen for that condition often. And so, therefore, when it came time for his MEB, when he got referred to the MEB and the proceedings came out and he didn't agree with it, he asked for a rebuttal and he wrote out a rebuttal statement. And in that statement, he outlined why his mental health condition should have been evaluated, to include the pages where it was listed in his medical record. He gathered those pages and gave them to them, to the board for them to review. So that's the tale of two service members, the tale of two soldiers. One that wasn't really prepared and just kind of let the process happen, unfortunately. And the other one where he was prepared and he fought and he got it at it. So that's the reason why this is so important. That's the reason why it is so important that you set yourself up for success.